Now, for drama, political intrigue, and simple craziness,
Manic.
we got to talk about the matches between Karpov and Kortchnoi.
And there was 3 of them.
And there were 3 of them. Now, the first one wasn't official
World Championship.
for the World Championship because it was the finals
of the
to
candidates.
see who would play Bobby Fischer. But then Fischer decides
Not to
he
play.
doesn't like the terms in 1975. FIDE's not listening to what he likes. And he says, that's it. I'm out. Up until
Right.
the last day.
Right.
And he says, I'm out. And Karpov is crowned the world champion because he's defeated Kortchnoi.
3-2
Meantime,
with many draws, 24 games.
Karpov has a little bit of chip on his shoulder, right? He's thinking, I didn't really beat the guy.
Right.
So he has to prove himself.
And he has to prove himself.
He has to prove himself.
Time and time again.
Time and time again. But who does he have to prove himself against? It's the same guy over and over.
Viktor
Kortchnoi, Viktor the Terrible, keeps coming back again and again.
Right. So Viktor Kortchnoi defects from the Soviet Union, and he becomes the challenger officially in 1978 and 1981. And for the whole World Championship cycle of 1980-1981, I was one of the seconds, along with Michael Steen and Lev Gutman. And I got a chance to work with Viktor for weeks and weeks and months, and I'm talking 12, 14-hour days. So I get to know the Viktor Kortchnoi. And he was a very mixed personality, a man of really strong, great passions. This is a guy, he would convince you that he's going to bring that mountain 10 feet closer to his home. And he's going to do it with the shovel. And he's going to do it every day, every day. And he is determined to make that mountain move.
Well, from what I remember,
And he was just amazing.
His father, I believe, died in a bombing when he was 10 years old.
Again, World War II.
In World War II. So
Yeah, Leningrad.
he got in a bombing, a siege of Leningrad, and he had to go through all this
Deprivations of
terrific
war.
deprivation to just
Horrifying.
be who he is.
To survive.
To survive. And he was known as a guy who, if you gave him a pawn, he'd be like, thanks for the pawn.
I'm walking through the Gobi Desert.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Barefoot.
You ain't getting it back.
Because
he was such a tremendous defender and such a steely personality.
Really, very, very much so. And in 1974, that match that he played with Karpov, the finals to determine who was going to play Bobby Fischer, had huge political overtones in the Soviet Union. Because keep in mind, there's the Soviet Chess Federation, man, but there's the Russian Sports Committee. And anything sports goes underneath the Russian Sports Committee. And it was the Russian Sports Committee who told the Chess Federation what's their policy going to be. And their policy was they wanted to support the younger Karpov. They thought that that guy had a better chance against Fischer than did Kortchnoi. So all the Soviets were supporting Anatoly Karpov. And Kortchnoi told me lots of stories. I can't bore you all with the stories, but they're fun, they're fun. So a lot of the Grandmasters, the Soviet Grandmasters, could not work with Kortchnoi, either officially or in public or anything. And it was all surreptitious. You know, you go to the phone booth 6 corners away, and then you call at 11, and we'll tell you our analysis kind of thing. I mean, it's all cloak and dagger.
Did they have to sign some paperwork also? Some of them signed paperwork against Kortchnoi,
Denouncing him,
when
yeah.
he decided that he was going to defect.
That was
there were a
during
few
the
people who
defection.
didn't sign.
That's right.
I remember Karpov didn't sign. I believe Petrosian didn't sign. A couple of others didn't sign. But they had to say,
That's right.
This
Denounce
guy is
him.
persona non grata to
Right.
us.
That's right.
Because he decided he had to, and he left behind his wife and
Yeah,
child as
Bella.
well.
Yeah, Bella and Igor. So, okay, so the point is it goes E4, E6, D4, D5. It's the French. Now, Kortchnoi is playing the French defense against Anatoly Karpov, and Karpov's playing the Tarrasch with knight D2. So Roman Djindjihashvili, who couldn't be his official second, right, has been working on the move bishop F8 to E7 on move 3. It's a special, special move, right? And then Viktor gets into a telephone conversation with David Bronstein. Okay, top guy. And he's on the phone, and David says, I've got a move for you on move 3, a bishop move for you to play against Karpov, and I've worked it all out. And he goes, yeah, I know. It's bishop e7. Gingy told me. No, it's bishop d7. Bishop c8 to d7 on move 3 against the Tarash, and you can go into the Fort Knox variation. So it's hilarious that there's Kortchnoi juggling 2 top grandmasters that he can't meet with them in public because of the Soviet Union.
And then the match continues with this kind of intrigue. Throughout. The stuff that happened in this match. Yogurt gate, because...
that comes later. Yeah, that comes
in the later
Baguio.
matches, right.
Baguio.
Where you get these, you can't bring the yogurt to the table because there might be a code depending on which color yogurt was
Correct.
given. Then the parapsychologists.
That's right.
Right, where they're using their minds to influence the way you're thinking.
Right.
And guys can't sit in the front row because you got parapsychologists who are intimidating them with their minds. I mean, it was some wild stuff.
Exactly, but even before we get into the 78 match, so we got the 75 match to deal with still. So there's Fischer, list of demands. I'm going to play this young punk kid, Anatoly Karpov. Ferdinand Marcos says, let's cut the crap. Here's $5 million. Now keep in mind that Bobby Fischer played Boris Spassky, how much?
$250,000.
Correct. $5 million. I don't want to hear about some rules and what's going to happen. No. $5 million gets your butt over here to play.
I think even Carlsen and Caruana would play for $5 million in today's dollars, much less those dollars.
1975. So it's amazing to chess fans, myself especially included, when I say that, how Bobby turned that down. That was just for the straight 24 game, which became the standard after World War II. You play 24 games. Bobby, wanted to play like Steinitz. The first to 10 victories wins the match.
Karpov, with 9-9 keeping the title for the champion.
That's right.
FIDE disagreed to.
That's right. So they went to the first to win 6. They changed the rules as a compromise. Bobby said, I ain't playing. Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, their thriller in Manila. Bobby Fischer didn't come and pick up the paycheck. Muhammad Ali and George Frazier did. That was what that money came from. George Frazier. Frazier, Ali.
Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier, sorry. Yeah, Joe Frazier. That was where that money came from, was from the chess match. 1978, Manila was wild. That's where you get your parapsychologists. That's where you...
This is Baguio City, though, right? No, Baguio.
Yeah, that's where Anatoly Karpov, man, you know, like some servant would come and bring him a tea or a coffee. Fair enough, here's a tea or coffee. But on hour number 1, he'd get a yogurt. But what kind of a yogurt? If it's a blueberry yogurt, maybe that's the thing that you should be moving your knight. If it's raspberry, you know what raspberry is all about.
Blueberry
right?
sounds like bishop.
That's the bishop.
Blueberries bishop, raspberries rook,
exactly.
etc.
Exactly.
I mean, it was some wild stuff that went on. And you know, we really should give Karpov his due. I know you were playing on Kortchnoi's team. You were siding
1981,
with Kortchnoi, but Karpov does win both matches.
They're
incredible fights.
That's
just
right.
Struggles beyond belief, epic stuff that people should really be looking at. But Karpov does win both, and he goes on to prove himself over the next 10 years that he's really the true champion.
That's because he's got the chip on his shoulder that Bobby Fischer never knocked off, because he won the match by forfeit, and every game he plays, he comes with the attitude, I've got to prove myself. I've got to prove that I'm the real world champion. And in those 10 years, he was phenomenal. He was a dominant world champion. Go look at that. Go look at that tournament record. Until we meet one youngster.
That is to come, but certainly epic. Those 2 double K matches, one of many that will happen between Karpov and Kortchnoi, was certainly a storybook time in chess world championship history.
Absolutely.